Today on Joe's Geek Show, we've got my haul from a trip to Tokyo. What's going on and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And before we get started, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that like button, clicking that subscribe button, and sharing. And with that, let's just go ahead and get this video underway. So last week, my family and I decided to take a trip out to Tokyo, and we got to go around some pretty cool areas. We got to check out Shibuya and Shinjuku, went to the Tokyo Tower, and of course, we had to take our daughter to Tokyo Disneyland, where I picked up this really cool, awesome Baymax cap. There you go. See? Ba-la-la-la-la. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and switch. There we go. Do the rest of the video with this cool Baymax cap. Love it. But other than Disney, what kind of stores did we visit in Tokyo? Well, it just so happens we were near the Odaiba Mall, which is home to a life-size unicorn Gundam statue. This thing was massive. It was just easily one of the coolest things I had ever seen in my life. And one of the reasons why it's there is because it's also a bit of an advertisement for one of the Gundam Gunplay stores. So, yeah. I bought some stuff while I was there. And one of the things I got was this very nifty Gundam-based tools for plastic model kits. It's got, you know, like a filer and a separator and like some like little clips so that you get like a better cut. Because ever since we moved to Japan in the first place, I have kind of gotten into, you know, making tiny little snap together models. This is one I did pretty much at first when we got here of Ultraman Zero. And then a few months ago, I did this guy right here, this War Greymon, which I also have a Metal Garurumon that I still got to do. But, you know, I'm a little behind on getting stuff done. But still, you know, I kind of got into this. So that begs the question, if I'm in a store full of nothing but Gundam models, did I get any? Well, yeah. I got, boom, right here, the Gundam Justice Knight, Kazami's mobile suit. This looks really dope. He's got a lance and a shield. Supposed to look something like that right here when he's complete. And it's a little bright with the light, but still, it's pretty dope and surprisingly decently priced. I mean, after conversion to USD, it was probably about 20 bucks. I definitely look forward to building this guy as well. Pretty sweet. And even got, you know, a nice base for when I actually do complete it. So it's like, all right, cool, just build them and stick them on a base and display them. And if it's your first time at the store, they even give you this really handy dandy Gundam base membership card, totally free. You just spend money there, rack up points, and then you get stuff with those points. And yeah, I've got maybe 14 points. Not sure how it's all calculated, but yeah, it's really nothing at all. And it's also worth mentioning that whenever you go to a Gundam-based store, they definitely make you go for your money's worth because you can only shop there once a day. Because yeah, I was actually really surprised as the first day when I went in there to, you know, buy like, you know, the clips and stuff like that to help separate, you know, all the pieces, that, you know, the sales clerk told me, hey, just so you know, you can only shop here once today. After that, you have to wait till tomorrow. I mean, I'm not really sure why. I asked her, was it because of COVID? She said, no, not really. It's just something they do. I mean, the store's never really packed or anything like that, at least the few times that I went. But nonetheless, you know, it did make me kind of feel like, all right, well, you know, if I don't come back, maybe I should buy a little bit more. But I ultimately just bought the one thing the one day because that was the very beginning of our trip. And I'm like, all right, cool. We'll come back just because it's close enough to the hotel. And of course, that was just the beginning, because if there's one thing that Tokyo has in excess, it is specialty stores. And one of the most interesting spots for themed stores was in Chiyoda City, or rather under it. Because if there's one thing that Tokyo has a lot of, it's subways and trains and all that fun stuff. And of course, there's a lot, and I do mean a lot of shopping stores and other types of souvenirs, places just littered throughout the subway systems. I mean, stores, restaurants, it's just about everything you can imagine. And one of the places we came across was the Ultraman M78 store. And of course, picking an item from the store was extremely, and I do mean extremely difficult, because this was, you know, towards the end of our trip, so we started being just a bit more frugal with our cash. And I was just like, oh, I just wish I could buy everything in the store, but unfortunately I couldn't do that. So it's like, all right, cool. I limited myself to one item. I took it down to 2 particular items, you know, this really cool hat and this cute little Ginga Man plushie. And I just couldn't decide, because both of these like items were also, at least according to the clerk, store exclusives. And I tried looking them up online later on after we had left the store and back to the hotel for that night. And oh yeah, I mean, I could get any of these items on either eBay or Amazon Japan, but I'm going to be paying a heck of a lot more money than I would at the store. So you can imagine it was a tough decision. So only thing that I could possibly have done, I let my 3-year-old daughter pick. You can pretty much guess what she picked. The Ultraman Ginga plushie. It's very soft. It's very cute. You just kind of, just shaved today. So that's nice. And you know, I'm okay with that. I like Ultraman Ginga. It's a very cool character, cool design. Surprisingly a simplistic show for that first season, but still very entertaining. It's definitely one show where I'm like, I feel like I was way more entertained with it than I thought I should be. But still, you know, it's like little Ginga Man's up. I mean, at some point, I would like to try to go back to that store and maybe procure a hat, just for the fun of it, and maybe a couple others. So we'll see. And also, next to that particular store was a Kamen Rider store. So, I mean, this underground shopping center was just throwing like tokusatsu stuff my way, and I couldn't help myself. So, you know, naturally I walked into that store as well, and I'm like, all right, one item, that's it. Okay. And I walked away with a little keychain plushie of Kamen Rider Saber. But, you know, I mean, I liked the Kamen Rider Saber season, and the store was really cool, you know, figures and display of like all of the Kamen Rider henshin belts from over the years. Yeah, I see Kamen Rider store. So, you know, got 2 popular tokusatsu characters right here. You know, Ultraman Ginga, Kamen Rider Saber. There's his tag, you know, so adorable, so adorable. You guys are great. We're gonna be good friends. And if this was Toy Story, I'm pretty sure these plushies would be like, oh dear God, what kind of twisted world have we walked into? So now I'm sure you're asking, hey Joe, did you stop at any other themed stores while you were there in Tokyo? And my answer is, oh, hell yes. Because one big store on top of my list above all others was one of the Godzilla stores. And yeah, I may have gone maybe just a tip crazy at this place. So let's see what's in the goodie bag. So first off, we've got figure of Mega Gears. Yeah, look at this. I really enjoyed the movie Godzilla versus Mega Gears, and I was just like, you know what? I saw this. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that. I love, honestly, when it comes to the Godzilla vinyl collection, the detail on pretty much all of the creatures. Like, they're very, very detailed. I love the paint job on them. And then another rendition of the big man himself, Godzilla. Like, according to the tag, this is a 2021 version of the character. I don't know, or released in 2021 probably. I don't know. It says something version. I can't quite read that. I'm judging by the white eyes on the character. I think this might be the one from MGK, which is Mothra versus Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. But I just love how he's like big he is. This is definitely the biggest Godzilla figure now that is going into my collection in terms of like just like how wide he is, like very muscular and stuff. And now out of the goodie bag is a plushie Godzilla. Yeah, actually, let's just open this guy real quick. Yeah. Get the shimmer shine off the plastic. There we go. Aww. Yeah, this one's labeled Chibi Godzilla. Adorable, I know. Apparently, I really like plushies of characters. Yeah. Again, 3 plushies. That's great. Should all get together and like have a crazy battle or something. Giga Blast and Atomic Breath and, well, I mean, Kamen Rider technically would be just tiny normal human compared to, you know, these two giant titans and stuff. And good God, I would really like to see a movie with Ultraman fighting Godzilla. Oh, and then of course I had to get another Godzilla energy drink, which I did a short reaction to, which you can look at right here. And of course, this one is a totally different flavor than the last one, which was a Shin Godzilla, like, purple grape drink. And also, they had this one as well. So, yeah, this one's got burning Godzilla on it. So, man, maybe like a cherry or something. This one's called Godzilla Energy 2. You can see the Roman numeral 2 behind Godzilla. Little light there. And then right here, this one's got Godzilla and a variant of Mechagodzilla called Kiryu. That one is from Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, and they fought again in Godzilla Tokyo SOS. So I really look forward to seeing what these taste like. Probably do like a couple more reaction videos. I don't know. I just wish I could get like cases of this stuff. The Godzilla energy drinks are only available in, like, you know, certain areas and stuff. I mean, so far I've only ever been able to find them at Godzilla stores, though after reading about them online, I guess like certain areas in like Japan and stuff, you can get them out of vending machines. And I don't know if these are like gonna be like a permanent thing or if these are still only like, you know, limited stuff. So I am trying to collect as many cans as I possibly can while we're still here in Japan. Oh, and also, you know, when you shop at the Godzilla store, they give you this nice sticker, Shin Godzilla, and they got Destroya and stuff like that. It's fun. I don't know what I'm gonna put it on though. I have a weird thing with stickers. I don't really like to use them because it's like a lot of times they're a one-time use thing. Oh, and then of course there's this ad on the back for, you know, oh, you saw it on the front too, the Godzilla battle line. On both iOS and Android, apparently. I actually have never tried it. I've seen some people in like Godzilla fan group talk about it, but I've never actually gave it a shot myself. And now I pose the question, Joe, what are you doing with all this stuff? I mean, yeah, I get it. It's called Joe's Geek Show. You don't have to just talk about comic books, but you are still primarily a comic book channel. So what do you do in this case? Well, we also went to a comic book store, and not a Japanese one, a straight up American comic book store in Japan, like right in Tokyo, which I was super psyched to just walk into a store and be like, oh my gosh, I can take something off the shelf, open it up, and understand everything on the page because it's in English. This place was Blister Comics, and you know, it's a fairly small store. There isn't much to it, but it's just, you know, it was great to go to. You know, you just walk in, you have that familiar smell of just single issues and trays just all over the place. I mean, they did have some Japanese stuff there, of course, but it took up a significantly smaller portion of the shelf. That was great. So I picked up some books. Let's go ahead and unravel. So first thing, okay, yeah, this is all something I got at the comic book store. It's a Ultraman sticker. Ultraman's great. Super happy about that, yeah. Don't know when I'm put it on again. Probably just save it and never use it. That's what I do. But I did pick up this Crime Syndicate trade paperback. I remember reading the first issue of this little mini series. God, a while back. I can't even remember when it came out. Was it earlier this year, or was it like late last year? I can't even remember. But yeah, collects Crime Syndicate 1 through 6. So that's fun. Crime Syndicate's cool. You know, whenever they're in a story, it's Evil Justice League. What can go wrong? Unless the story sucks. I mean, but either way, I always have to like laugh at the fact that I love the character, you know, Ultraman, and then Superman's evil version from Earth 3 is also Ultraman. Maybe we can get like Ultraman versus Ultraman. Next up is the trade paperback 2. We Have Demons from Scott Snyder, Red Capullo, and that was basically the biggest selling point. I mean, I just saw this cover too. I had heard about it a little bit. Two of my comic book buddies back in Alaska, like, we were on Marco Polo, and they were just raving about this book as it was coming out in the single issues. I also believe it was a digital first on Comixology. The concept just sounds really awesome. I mean, you just open it up and you just look at that demonic head on the page. Chapter 1. You know, and what's really cool is all the stuff they got in the back, like, you know, like black and whites, and of course I don't know how many, I don't think it's not all 6 issues. Oh, issue 3 script from Scott Snyder. You know, those are always fun to read and just see how Scott Snyder like structures his comic books and whatnot. And yeah, I just thought it sounded really freaking rad. So I just in the last, you know, comic book or graphic novel or trade paperback, or whatever you want to call it, that I picked up in the store is Batman Damned. Now, this is a story that I actually have all the single issues, but I never sat down to read it and actually got them put away right now in a very protective case. Like, they're definitely not going anywhere. And I was like, you know, I've always wanted to read this book, so I'm like, all right, cool, you know, because it was like, you know, Brian Azzarello, and the art inside just looks amazing, you know. So, thought to myself, okay, I will go ahead and I will check out this bad boy and finally read it, because I like reading things in trade. You know? It's easier. You just pull it off a shelf and you read it, and then you put it back. You don't have to worry about boards and bags, you know. I mean, I understand the biggest setback to reading this over the single issues that I got is I don't get to see Bruce's Batawang. It was a big deal at the time. I remember the book was said to have been recalled. I did manage to get that first issue before that had happened. But alas, yeah, like I said, never read it. As long as the bulk of the story is, you know, the same and nothing else has changed. Who needs to see Bruce's Batawang? But that isn't the only comic book type stuff I picked up. I also did pick up one manga while I was there. And that is the first volume of the Pokemon Adventures, because, you know, I needed reading material for the plane ride home. It's Pokemon. I was a big fan of Pokemon when I was a kid, you know, and then I opened it up and I did read this on the way back, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so much better than the show. Main character's actually kind of smart and a good Pokemon trainer. And yeah, that's all the stuff I got. Nice array of geeky goodness, and it was Tokyo. Lots of shopping. Money was spent. But hey, what did you think about all the stuff that I got? What was, you know, the most interesting thing to you in this lot of awesome stuff? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.